You didn't do much today. Seriously, you answered a few messages, you started an email you didn't finish, you thought about that conversation from Tuesday, you remembered you need to reschedule the dentist, you stared at your phone for a while, you maybe watched something, and now it's 9 p.m. and you feel like you ran a marathon. The screen is off, the AirPods are out, nothing is technically happening, and yet, you're exhausted in a way that sleep doesn't fully explain. Here's what's wild. This isn't laziness. It's not a character flaw. Roughly 2/3 of people report ending their day feeling mentally drained without being able to point to what, exactly, drained them. You are not the exception. You are extremely, statistically normal. I once spent a Sunday doing what I'd describe as basically nothing. A few errands, some half-finished tasks I moved to the next day, a lot of thinking about things I wasn't actually dealing with, and by evening I was genuinely depleted. I thought something was wrong with me. Turns out, something was right. My brain was working overtime, just not on anything visible. We're not here to diagnose you. We're here to figure out exactly how your brain runs background processes, and why that mental background noise isn't weakness. It's a very specific, very understandable mechanism. And here's the thing, once you understand the mechanism, everything gets a little clearer. Let's start with the most counterintuitive fact about your brain. It doesn't distinguish between thinking about a task and doing it, not cleanly. In the 1920s, a Soviet psychologist named Bluma Zygarnik noticed something strange. Waiters in a Vienna cafe could remember every detail of an open order and completely forget it the moment it was paid. The unfinished held attention, the finished released it. She designed a study, found the same pattern, and we've been studying it ever since. It's called the Zygarnik effect. Incomplete tasks stay active in working memory, quietly demanding processing power, whether you're thinking about them or not. Translation: that email you started but didn't send? Still open. The conversation you replayed but didn't resolve? Still running. The plan you made but haven't acted on? Running. Your brain isn't ignoring those things. It's pinging them, quietly, constantly, in the background. The second concept is cognitive load. Your working memory, the part of your mind that handles what's active right now, has a hard limit. Researchers estimate it holds roughly 4 chunks of information simultaneously. When you exceed that, processing slows, decision-making gets worse, and the experience of being over capacity feels exactly like exhaustion. Not because you're weak, because you're full. Third, attention residue. Coined by organizational psychologist Sophie Leroy, it describes what happens when you switch tasks, or mentally toggle between a tab you've abandoned and whatever you're currently doing. A part of your attention stays stuck on the previous thing. You're physically present in the new task, mentally still loading the old one. So, Zygarnik keeps incomplete loops open. Cognitive load fills the available space. Attention residue means switching costs more than you think. Your brain is not broken. It is running a system that was never designed for 47 simultaneous, incomplete things. Now that we know the mechanism, let's watch how this looks in your actual Tuesday. Scene 1, the morning check. You wake up and, before your feet hit the floor, you've opened Instagram, checked Slack, seen a notification you don't want to deal with, and remembered 3 things you were supposed to do yesterday. You haven't gotten out of bed. You have already loaded 9 tabs. What your brain is doing. Each of those inputs is creating a small, open loop. The Slack message you saw but didn't respond to? Loop open. The notification you dismissed? Loop open, because dismissing isn't the same as resolving. Your brain has registered each one as incomplete, and it will keep pinging them until they're closed. Your brain isn't scattered. It's doing exactly what it was built to do, track unresolved things. It just wasn't built for a world where there are 40 of them before 8 a.m. Scene 2. The afternoon context switch. You're working on something, a real thing requiring actual thought. Your phone buzzes, you glance at it. You don't even open the app, you just see the preview. You look back at your screen, and suddenly the thing you were thinking about is not quite there. You have to re-find your place. The sentence you were about to write is gone. The idea you were holding is slightly blurry. What your brain is doing. That glance cost you more than a glance. Attention residue means part of your cognitive resources are now split between what you were doing and the message you just half read. You're not being distracted. You're experiencing a well-documented cost of task switching that researchers measure in minutes, not seconds. Your brain is not weak. It's paying a real toll every time it tries to hold 2 open windows at once. Scene 3. The doing nothing trap. It's evening. You've closed the laptop. You're on the couch. You're technically resting, except you're thinking about the email you didn't send, and whether you said the weird thing in that meeting, and what you're supposed to do about that situation with your friend. And you should probably exercise tomorrow. And the dentist. What your brain is doing. Rest requires the closure of open loops. But when those loops are unresolved, not finished, not consciously set aside, just floating, the brain stays in active monitoring mode. It can't power down into real recovery. You're lying still and running at 60% capacity. The exhaustion you feel isn't from the couch. It's from the unfinished business your brain refuses to stop tracking. None of this is about willpower. None of it is about being bad at resting. Your brain is not broken. It learned to track open things because, for most of human history, an unresolved thing was a threat. It was very good at its job. It just has more tabs open than it was ever designed to handle. And here's where it gets useful. There's a concept researchers call an implementation intention. It sounds complicated. It's not. It's just, when you commit not only to what you're going to do, but specifically when and how, the brain treats the loop as conditionally closed. Not done, just filed, stored, no longer needing to be actively tracked. The practical version is simple. Instead of leaving the email mentally open, I need to deal with that. You give it a specific container. I'll write that reply Thursday morning, first thing, before I open anything else. That's it. The Zeigarnik effect quiets. Not because the task is finished, because the brain now has a specific, credible plan for finishing it. You can try this today. Take 3 things you've been mentally running in the background. Not your full to-do list, just 3 things actually taking up mental RAM right now, and give each one a specific time and place. Write it somewhere. Not because you're committed, because your brain needs to see it's handled. You don't have to close every tab. You just have to stop pretending the open ones aren't using memory. This won't fix everything. You can try it. You can also just sit with the information and see what shifts. No pressure either way. The exhaustion you feel at the end of a slow day is real. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's the measurable cost of carrying too many open things through too many hours. Your brain was doing its job. You just weren't aware of the job it was doing. You're not bad at resting. You're carrying more than you can see. And here's the question I want to leave you with. Not to answer right now, just to sit with. What would actually feel finished to you? And when did you last let something fully close?